So I'd like to introduce to you my girlfriend. She's for real my girlfriend, Miss Kate Pierce. Wonderful time we've had here today. Yes. Does everybody feel a little bit more empowered than when you got here this morning? Yes. Good. So, as Cindy said, my name's Kate, and I am an attorney. And I know I don't look nearly old enough to have been an attorney for over 20 years. But at this point, I work for a private firm, but most of my career has been spent working for the government as a prosecutor. So I retired as a prosecutor, and I currently work for a firm that's called Attorneys for Freedom. And I am proud to work for a firm that the whole entire goal is the promotion of freedom. And as a young lady who is the great-grandchild of a slave, that means something, right?
Yeah. Yes.
When you can have the ability not only to speak for your own freedom, but to speak for the freedoms of others. So I consider it to be a blessing that the Lord has saw fit to give me this opportunity. So I'm from Chandler. I like to say I'm a Chandler girl. And Cindy wanted me to tell a little bit about my story and how I was blessed enough to have these opportunities. And I will tell you, there's nothing great about me, nothing extremely amazing about me. My mother would be mad at me, and she's sitting over there because I say that all the time. But I was just fortunate enough to be blessed to be surrounded by great people. And that's what we're talking about, being empowered, right? And that happens when you're little. It's like, who do you allow to sow into your child's life?
Yeah.
For me, back again, telling a little bit of my age, my mother worked for other people cleaning their homes. And I was very fortunate because one of the ladies she worked for took an interest in me. She and her best friend, Miss Mary and Miss Marie, took an interest in me. And they thought, oh, this is a cute little black girl. We're going to take her where we go. And they used to love to read. So one of my very first adventures in life was going to the library. I learned to love to read. So I'm a 3-year-old reading, I'm already reading by the time I get to kindergarten, because the good people that my mother allowed to sow into my life. So if you're a mother, it's really important that you don't just keep your kids to yourself. You find good quality people to sow into your children, to give them opportunities that you yourself may not be able to give them on your own, right? So I was very fortunate to be surrounded by good people and to have great parents, and I know that makes a huge difference, right? Because you have parents who believe in you and will cultivate your interests and do those things that many parents do, work 2 or 3 jobs to make sure you get those interests. And then, as I grew, I tell this story and people are like, why did you become a lawyer? And I said, I don't know. All I know is it's all I ever wanted to do. And I remember, I don't actually remember making this picture, but when I graduated from college after I had been admitted to law school, my first grade teacher, Mrs. Becker, and her husband took me and my mom out to dinner. And Mrs. Becker had kept, I don't know if you guys remember because some of y'all are a little younger, we used to have this paper that used to draw pictures on the top and you could write your little story on the bottom. And so in the first grade, Mrs. Becker had us write, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I just wanted to be a lawyer. And so I drew a little picture of me with a little gavel, and I said, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer. And when I graduated from college, Mrs. Becker gave me back this story. And I was shocked, because I'm like, who keeps that? Like, that long. But she did, and she said, because I always believed in you, and I always knew you would do it. And I was like, wow. And that story is even more important when you consider that in first grade they discovered I had a learning disability. And so back then, it wasn't really the thing, but she recognized that I was smart, and if I wasn't able to remember how to write my letters, my B's the right way, my D's the right way, my G's, my Q's, they were always backwards. She could have said, She's just smart, not smart. And then I would have been on the track for special needs kids. But she recognized there was something wrong. She put in the time and the energy to help me to overcome it. So, again, just really important that it's about the quality of people that you're blessed to have in your life that make a difference in your pathway. Most importantly, what can the government do to me, right? What can the government do to me in a given situation? Can they just walk up in my house? Can they take my stuff? That's why it's so important to know your rights. So I grew up in a time where I think all of you, everybody here knows the Miranda Warnings, right? So let's do them all together. What is the first one?
Right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in court.
So you have the right to remain silent. Does everybody here know that that's straight from the Constitution, right? You have the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. That means you don't have to talk to the police. Lawyers will tell you, do not talk to the police. They're not here to help you. They're not your friend. And when they say it may be used against you, I'm a prosecutor. I was a prosecutor for a long time. Let me tell you, it will be used against you in a court of law. You're like, well, what should I do? What can I do? I'm in a situation. It's intimidating. They're standing there. They have on these uniforms. They are official. They have the ability to arrest you, to take away your liberty. If you're in a situation with your kids, they can take away your kids. So it's serious, right? So of course you always want to try to talk your way out of it, right? But sometimes we're not really quite as good at that as we think we are. So, again, we live in this great country. You don't have to talk to them. You can be very respectful and say, hey, you know what? I'd rather have my attorney here. And today, we have provided at our table these wonderful, it's on the back of our card, and we also have these placards that can go in your car that tell you and remind you what your rights are in a given situation, right? So you can just say, hey, hold on just a second. I gotta get my registration. It's in my little thing. And by the way, I really don't want to talk to you if you don't, because I want to chat you up. It's part of the protocol. Right. Hey, how you doing? Where are you going? What's going on? Do you mind if I search? Yes, I do mind if you search. Do you have probable cause? Do you have a warrant? Because if you don't have a warrant, you can't search my car.
Right.
Can I come in your house? No. Do you have a warrant? Matter of fact, I have a little welcome mat, and my welcome mat says, do you have a search warrant? Because you're not coming in my house if you don't have a search warrant, right? And even when I was a prosecutor, you are not coming in my house unless you have a search warrant, because I'm an American, and these are my rights. And I'm not going to give up my rights to you. Do your job, right? That's what I tell. Make the police, make the government do their job. Don't do their job for them. Help them to investigate by giving them the evidence to hurt them, right? So make sure you get one of these. And one of the things, so it says on the back, I refuse to consent to any search whatsoever.
Yes.
No, thank you. I'm good. As such, I do not consent to a search of my premises, my person, my immediate location, or any vehicle or effects. I hereby exercise my rights as enumerated by the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 9th, and the 14th Amendments.
All right.
So you want to have information, because it's that information and that knowledge that empowers you, right?
Yes.
And we want to be empowered in this world, and especially as our individuals, and then as business people, right? When you have a business, you want to feel confident and encouraged that you can operate with assurance and confidence that you know what you're doing and you know what your rights are, even as a business person. So one of the things I remember when I was young about attorneys is it seems like it was something always rich people had, right? They're like, well, I have an attorney on retainer, so I'll just call my attorney. And one of the things I love about the firm that I currently work for is we have this program called Attorneys on Retainer. And it's not necessarily for rich people, it's for everybody, right? So you can have your own set of attorneys on retainer. I'm like, that is the coolest idea. Because it's about empowerment, right? How can I empower myself to put myself, and when you're a parent, your children in the very best possible position? Because if somebody stops my kid, I want my kid to be armed with knowledge and information so that they are going to be safe, one. But two, I don't want them to end up in a situation where I got to go visit them once a month on Sunday for something that they didn't do, because it happens, right? Or their involvement is minimal, but because they are nervous and they're scared and they start talking, because they're trying to talk their way out of it, they end up talking themselves into more than they should be doing. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So this program gives you the ability to have attorneys on retainer. I'm one of those attorneys, I like to think I'm really good at what I do. So you can get my services, or Mark Victor, who owns the firm. So Mark bills out at $6.50 an hour.
I'm not paying for Mark.
Speak for my account.
So Mark bills out at $6.50 an hour. If you are a member of Attorneys on Retainer, you can get Mark's services for $175 an hour. Right? So you can get one of the top defense attorneys in the state of Arizona, who usually charges $6.50 an hour for $175 an hour. And he gives you the best service, whether you're paying $175 or whether you're paying $6.50. But that's a huge benefit, right?
Yes.
And another thing I like as a business person, and we have those, like I was talking to somebody earlier, if you're on the AOR program, you can come in and say, you know what, I'm thinking about making some changes in my business. I just want to sit down and talk to an attorney. Figure out some things, just talk to some things through. You're allowed to you get with the program, 30-minute consultation for free. So you can come in, sit down, talk to Mark Victor, who's usually $6.75 an hour, and that's free for half an hour of his time. So that's a huge benefit, I think. I would say, I don't think I could afford, I know I can't afford Mark Victor. So it's good to know that you can sign up for something that you could get that quality of attorney and that kind of quality services, just like the one when I was little, the rich people on TV. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about, and one of the other things we have in my story, and one of the reasons I love being an attorney is I love people. I love helping people. I love giving people a voice. Because for so many people, they get caught in the system, they get caught in situations, and because they don't know the things that lawyers know, and they don't know the system, and they don't know the players, they often find themselves lost, right? Just like I'm sure when people in your world, when you go to doctors and hospitals, it's normal to you. But when I go to the doctor, I'm like, this is crazy. Why are these people running around? What's that music? Why is it so cold? Like, all the questions I'm asking, but to you, that's normal. This is how you operate. This is your business. This is you're there day to day. Well, for lawyers, we don't get intimidated by courtrooms because that's my natural habitat. That's where I live, breathe, and have my being, is in a courtroom, right? So you want someone who's comfortable in that environment, who knows the judges, who knows other attorneys, who are a valuable resource to help you navigate whatever life situation you may find yourself in. So it is, I believe, one of my blessings, and my calling is, the first lady was speaking earlier, my calling is I get to be a lawyer. It's one of the best things I think in the world to be able to do, is because you get to be able to be the voice for people who don't have one. So I wanted to be able to talk to you about, just again, giving you knowledge and arming you with information about what you can do in a given situation, or when your children find themselves in situations. What do I do if I get stopped for a traffic offense? How do I deal with that? What if the police do knock on my door and they want to come in my house? And you don't have to have anything, because that's the whole, our logic usually is, well, come on in, I ain't got nothing. Right? I have nothing to hide. Come on in. But it's the government, right? And the whole entire purpose behind the Constitution is we were supposed to be able to be free from certain government invasions in our life. And we've given a lot of those things up over the years because it's easier, it's convenient, but it's okay to want to exercise your rights. And I encourage you to continue to think about those things and in growing and being empowered women so that you can not only empower yourself, but you can empower your family and your friends by having this knowledge, right? So knowledge is power. And with the knowledge, power is the foundation of confidence. And confidence is empowerment. So we would like to, we would like to encourage everyone to, and if you don't have my program, I think my program's the best, and our program's the greatest, because obviously, I think I'm the best.
That's right.
I think I bring a little something to the table that you don't get everywhere.
That's right. That's right.
And I've been doing this a long time, successfully. And so, and the other thing I'm going to give you that you're not going to get is, you're going to get my heart, right? Because I care about the people. And I want what's best for my clients. And so we put that extra effort in because, you know, you are me, I am you. You succeed, I succeed, right? And in those situations where people make a mistake, because who amongst us is perfect? Not me. And sometimes we make bad choices, or our children make bad choices. Those choices shouldn't define our lives. Then you want people in your corner who understand that, and who know that sometimes the system we are in is a little bit unbalanced and a little bit biased, and who can help you to navigate those waters with knowledge and care. So I encourage you to take time to stop by our table, look at our information. If you can, Jonathan's reminding me that we have to tell you a little bit about, we are running a special, and Jonathan doesn't know I've decided to do this without his permission. See how empowered I am? So typically, to sign up for our program, there's a $100 sign-up fee. So it's the administrative fee. And Jonathan had agreed to a discount to allow you to do that for $56 today. And typically, our bundle is $40 a month, but today it's $25 a month.
All right.
Wonderful.
And because I want my firm to continue to do these things and to get out in our community and to encourage us, because again, we are one, right? We're us, we're our community.
Right.
I want what's best for everyone, but I have a particular heart for my community, right? I want my community to prosper. And I chose criminal law because I believe that it's the area that most impacts our life, right? If we're going to ever come into contact with the justice system, 8 times out of 10, it's going to be the criminal justice system, right? And so I wanted to be able to have an impact and influence how the law interacts in our lives. So Jonathan has agreed to sign up. Right, Jonathan?
Yes.
To reduce it to $56. But if you sign up today, I'm going to make it an even $50.
All right.
Right? Okay. So, because that makes it easy. Because it should be 50% off, right? We like sales. Right. I'm like, what percentage off is that? I need 50% off because it'll make me feel better about myself. I feel like when I go back and I explain my budget, I got 50% off, right?
Right.
And then again, you get the bundle, which is only going to be $25 a month, as opposed to the normal $40 a month.
That's amazing.
Again, you get the reduced fee. And the other thing I forgot to tell you, any gun owners here? Oh, good. Well, you should become one. Again, one of those groups. You gotta go to bear arms. Right? And then you know what? We should, the other thing is, one of the statistics, the biggest growing demographic group of gun owners are Black women. And like, Sydney, you should sign everybody up. We should go to Caswell's or something, go shooting. But if you are an AOR member and you have to use your weapon in self-defense, and you're an AOR member, you don't even have to pay Margaret $175 now, or me $175, because your defense will be free.
Woo!
All right.
Why did you say this?
Okay.
don't go up there. She said, don't go up there trying to jack people up. Don't be doing that. No. But if you find, because again, that empowerment, right? If I find myself in a situation where I believe I have no choice but to use my weapon, right? I want to be able, when I'm in the clink, to say, can you please get Kate a call? I'll be down there at your IA, trying to get you sprung from the clink. Right? I'll be down there with you at 1 o'clock in the morning, because they usually put them at the craziest times, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll be down there. I'll put on my ponytail.
Come on now.
But again, instead of paying us our normal rates or even our AOR rates, your defense will be free.
Appreciate it.
So I encourage you, it's one of those things that you should get everybody together, start making sure females, again, no, that's that empowerment. There's some, not that you ever want to use your weapon, but you never know when you're going to be in a position where you may need it. And if you have to use it and you need it, we are going to be here for you as part of the AOR family. Your defense for that particular case will be free. So that's, again, a wonderful benefit. So I encourage everyone to sign up today. And again, Jonathan didn't know I was going to do this. But if you sign up today, you get 50% off. Not that weird number Jonathan came up with. And you get the AOR bundle. And if you have your business, you can also sign your business up so that your business can also benefit from it as well. Okay? So does anyone have any questions? You get like free lawyer stuff for right now. Anybody any questions?
A lot, too many. I will talk. I done messed up the business. Can't have every, this is, what's it? Call it privilege. You're right.
Sign up today. Give Jonathan a call on Monday. He'll sign you up, come in the office, and it's just between you.
Okay.
It's between you and me.
How can we prove, like, if we do need to talk to you after, how can we prove that we, met here, something like that? Is there a way?
See me.
Just see Jonathan.
Okay.
He might give you a code word. I might suggest that if he says empowerment, right? He'll know that you met with us here. And then, Jonathan can be easily persuaded sometimes. And maybe, he might still give you the deal on Monday.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Hint, hint. Wink, wink.
When you say empowerment, everybody say with me, empowerment.
You remember?
Yeah. So again, I think it's a great program. I just sat with a young lady the other day, and she just has some simple questions about, property and how to transfer it, that kind of thing. And it's nice to be able to sit down with a lawyer for 30 minutes, and I can show you how, and when we say a strategy session, we mean strategy. Like, we sat down, we talk about it. You don't necessarily, I like to arm you with information so that you can do the things yourself, so you don't even have to pay me $175. I showed her on the computer, this is the website you go to, this is a document you need. If you decide you don't want to do it, which a lot of people do, you can, of course, pay us. We'll be more than happy to do that. But again, at the end of a strategy session, we want to empower you with information and knowledge that is practical, so that if you want to just do it yourself, you can do it yourself. And some people are, I'm more comfortable, I just don't want to be bothered, you can do it. And that's fine, we'll do it for you, but we want you to leave at the end of a strategy session feeling empowered with knowledge and information and how to deal with your situation.
Yes.
Any other questions? Well, as I leave again, the key and the code word is Empowerment Jonathan.
Got it.
So thank you guys so much for allowing me to come in this afternoon and sharing my love of the law and my love for justice with you. And I hope hope everybody continues on this path. I'm excited. I want us to need to set up like a gun thing for us so we can all go to Caswell's or something and shoot?
Yes. Shooters World.
Shooters World on Friday.
Friday, ladies night.
They still have ladies' night?
Ladies night.
They still have ladies' night at Shooters World?
We need to get you signed up. You better quick, fast, and in a hurry. Show.